Space programs have been created outside of your environment as an interior designer for some time. You probably have done interviews with clients, taken your notes, and then used something like Word or Excel to come up with a space program. Space programs, if you recall, are nothing more than putting together a list of the rooms that you have, figuring out how many quantities of things that you might need, having maybe an approximate size that you kind of put out there as a rule of thumb, and maybe you'll have with enough experience with working with a client to figure out approximately what kind of square footage you have. How you do this really depends. Some people will put it in Word or Excel. Others will actually hand write out their space programs. In this example, this one here was done basically in Excel. It's got notes, and as you can see, it has things broken down by entry and offices, workstations, accessory spaces, so forth and so on. Now, wouldn't it be nice to be able to take a space program and put it into Revit? Revit has a really nice database, and as a result, you can take it and put it into a Revit model. You can use this to develop and manage a space program. And it's information that typically you're going to build within the model. It's not something that's already there. So basically, the space program will help a designer allocate space and keep it all in one spot so you don't have a lot of extra files or papers that you have to go look for. So let's take a look at how this can be done. This program that we're looking at here is the office building that we're going to be using. If you take a look at the first floor's got really nothing in it currently. There's no walls, no nothing. So we're really at the very beginning of your space planning. So we've got all this information we picked up from the client, and now we're going to go ahead and figure out how to put some of that into Revit. Let's take a look. Over here in Architecture, go to the View tab, and on the View tab, you'll find Schedules. Click on Schedules and go to Schedule Quantities. In this dialog box, you're going to be asked, first of all, to figure out what it is that you're going to be working with. We're working with Architecture. So make sure that this is clicked on. And then down here, you have categories. Architecture has a lot of categories, one of which we're looking for is called Rooms. So we're going to come down here and click on Rooms. So we're going to be Architecture and then Rooms. And for a name, we're just going to call this Space Program. Make sure that Schedule Building Components is clicked, and that the phase now is called New Construction. Press OK. Now, in this one, you look at Schedule Properties. You got a whole bunch of different tabs up here, which we'll eventually get to. Fields, though, is basically what we're interested in coming up with because we need to define what's in our space schedule. Notice here that the category Rooms is indicated, and you have a number of fields underneath Rooms that we can pick from. So let's go ahead and pick some. The first one we want to look at is category, which we have. We have space program that's already in here. And now we're going to go ahead and put in name. So we're going to find name in this list. Here it is. Hit add. Next one we're going to look for is area because we want to figure out exactly how much area a room is going to take. So we're going to put in add there. Next one is going to be comments because we might make a comment or two about that room area. We'll do that. And then we'll also bring in level because there's actually a couple levels to this building. So we'll just go ahead and put that in. Now, some little refinements. If you need to, when you bring in these fields, you can move them up and down. Also, you can use the control key if you want to and come over here and select a number. So if I wanted to put in a couple others and hit add, I can do that. Also, I can go ahead and use the remove button to take them out. Next, I'll press OK. And I jump right into schedules. And you'll notice here that my space program schedule has been set up. We have name, area, comments, and level. Let's go back and click on the first floor. And you'll see here that I'm in the first floor. But where do I get back into my schedule? Well, you need to come back down here to the project browser. And under the project browser, you're going to find a category called Schedules and Quantities. Click on the plus. And then click on Space Program, and it'll bring you right in. That's because a schedule is a view, just like your first floor plan is a view. So what we have done here is create a very simple but incomplete schedule for our space program. You can always go back and add more to it as you develop more information. So if you end up getting more information from your client, you can add it into your space program within Revit.